The sound is the first warning. A high-pitched scream tearing through the sky, a sound of immense power barely under control. From the pilot's seat, the world is a blur of blue ocean and a single tiny strip of gray. A runway, impossibly short, pitching and rolling on the open sea. There is no room for error. In a controlled crash, 25 tons of steel and fire slam onto the deck. A tailhook catches a wire, and in less than 2 seconds, a 150-mile-an-hour fighter jet is brought to a violent, perfect stop. The canopy opens. The roar of the engine fades, replaced by a new sound. The sound of a city. Hundreds of people in colored jerseys move with disciplined purpose. Other jets are being armed, refueled. An elevator the size of a house rises from the depths, carrying another fighter to the sky. This is not a ship. This is a fortress, an airfield, a city of steel where 4,500 souls live and work, protected by its own missile defense systems, powered by the atom, and projecting American power across the globe. A $13 billion symbol floating on the waves. But before it can conquer the ocean, it must first be conquered by its makers. So how do you build a city from a single piece of steel?
You really ate all of that. It was delicious.
Set course for 049er. Steady as she goes.
The journey begins here, in one of the largest dry docks on Earth, a man-made canyon of concrete and steel, waiting for a giant to be born. The first act is a ceremony as old as shipbuilding itself. The first cut of steel, a single symbolic act that sets in motion millions of man-hours of labor. This piece, bearing the initials of the ship's sponsor, is then lowered into the vast emptiness of the dry dock. The keel laying, the foundation of the city, has been laid. But a foundation needs a skeleton to stand tall.
Hold it steady, we're almost there.
A little to the left, easy.
Okay, set her down.
A city is not built in a day, and neither is this one. It is built in pieces, hundreds of giant modular blocks called superlifts. Some weigh over 1,000 tons. Heavier than 3 Boeing 747 seconds. Inside these cavernous workshops, an orchestra of fire and force is conducted. Robotic arms and human hands work in unison, welding thousands of tons of steel into the colossal bones of the ship. Each weld is a covenant, x-rayed and scrutinized, for it must withstand the stress of launching and landing aircraft for 50 years. One by one, these massive bones are hoisted by a titan of a crane, a 1,000-ton Goliath named Old Blue, and lowered into the dry dock with millimeter precision. A skeleton of steel, longer than 3 football fields, slowly takes shape. But a skeleton needs a main street, its bustling, vital artery.
Hold steady on the guide ropes.
All right, easy now. Bring it down 5 more meters.
Watch the alignment on the far side.
Four and a half acres of sovereign American territory, forged from thousands of individual steel plates. This is the flight deck, the most dangerous and vital real estate in the entire U.S. Navy. For months, welders stitched this immense steel quilt together, creating a surface so strong it can absorb the repeated impacts of 50,000-pound aircraft. But the real magic lies beneath. A revolutionary system of electromagnets, the veins and muscles that will soon catapult these jets from 0 to 170 miles per hour in 3 seconds. The most dangerous highway in the world has been paved. Now, every city needs a skyscraper to control its traffic, to see over the horizon its city hall. It is called, simply, the Island, a 600-ton tower of steel containing the ship's bridge, flight control center, and advanced radar systems. It is the brain and eyes of the entire operation. For years, it has been constructed separately, a skyscraper waiting for its city. And then, the day of the crowning arrives. The single most impressive feat of engineering in the entire build. The Goliath crane lifts the entire island into the air. A slow, silent ballet of impossible weight as the city's command tower floats over its main street. With perfect, agonizing precision, it is lowered into place. The city now has its iconic skyline. The body is complete, but it is still a cold, lifeless body. It needs a heart and a soul. Deep within the most protected section of the hull, 2 nuclear hearts are transplanted, the A-1B reactors. A marvel of physics, they will beat with a quiet, relentless power, generating nearly 3 times the electricity of the previous generation. They are the captured stars that will allow this city to sail the seas for 25 years without ever needing to refuel. They are the source of eternal life. With a heart, a city needs a nervous system. 1 million miles of fiber optic and copper cables are painstakingly routed through every corridor and compartment. These are the synapses of the steel beast, carrying trillions of bits of data per second, from the radar tracking a target 100 miles away to the thermostat in the captain's quarters. This is the ship's consciousness, its intelligence taking form. But what is the purpose of this city? It is revealed in the final revolutionary installation on its main street, the Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, or EMALS. Replacing the steam and steel of the past with the clean, controllable power of magnetism. This is the reason the city exists.
To be a sovereign piece of America, anywhere in the world, capable of launching air power at a moment's notice.
With a nuclear heart beating and an electronic brain awakened, the City of Steel is ready. It awaits one final thing: its baptism by water. The final ritual. A name is given. A blessing is bestowed. A bottle of American sparkling wine shatters against the bow. And then, the great valves of the dry dock are opened. Millions of gallons of river water rush in. A ceremonial flood. For the first time, after years of being bound to the earth, the city begins to float. It takes its first breath, liberated from its steel cradle. Under its own immense power, the giant takes its first steps. It sails out of the shipyard and into the open ocean for its sea trials. Pushed to its limits, every system is tested. Every weld is stressed. The city is learning to walk, to run, to become the guardian it was designed to be. And then, the moment that completes the circle, a Super Hornet lines up on the electromagnetic catapult. The roar of the engines echoes across the water. But instead of the violent shudder of a steam launch, there is a smooth, powerful surge, a silent rush of immense energy. In 3 seconds, the jet is gone, a speck in the sky. The city has fulfilled its purpose for the first time. The floating fortress, once a mere ghost in a machine, now leads a fleet across the vast blue expanse. A living, breathing city of steel, carrying the power and the promise of a nation. It is awake. And its watch has begun.
You should have seen the look on his face when the CO walked in.
I know, right? Best meal we've had all week, too.